Sorry for the muddled camera. um, it's late, so I'm not gonna be on for long, but let's get it popping. And thank you to everyone that shows up. Chat filter all messages. Caveat is I'm turning this on only for subscribers. Okay, so what we doing? So I'm doing community moderation. So to limit folks who might want to troll, you're gonna have to subscribe to troll. Cause I'll be a groupie, baby. Like stop. Let me turn it down so I'm not trying to get copyrighted. But yeah, so just staying on for a few minutes to say what's up. Again, not gonna stay on for long, and I've made it that only subscribers can leave comments. So if someone wants to troll, they're gonna have to subscribe to troll. The funny thing is, the hardcore trolls are actually that desperate to do that. A hardcore troll will actually subscribe just to troll. Like I've literally like 2 years ago, I literally had trolls that came in that were cloning. They were tag teaming and cloning themselves so they could keep appearing in the live stream. They were extreme. Until my former moderator at the time booted them, and actually he was going to dox them if they kept playing around, and well, they stopped. But again, just a little happy Easter chat. I don't mind if people want to spread their, you know, religious festivity. What's up, Eugene? He says hi, Eugene Wheeler 4125. What's going on, everybody? How's your Easter going? Are you celebrating Passover? Are you not celebrating either? Are you Muslim and you just came off of Ramadan last week? Um, no, let me know. Had my um, my Easter dinner earlier and had some Easter candy. I might go back and get some more Easter candy. Well, it was just like the little mini chocolate bars. That's it. I rarely eat candy like that other than my fruit snacks. Fruit snacks technically isn't candy. Technically. And we all know technically is the best form of correct. So, um, and I've said this like for the last couple of days in my live streams, but like I said, when I was little, I was always confused why the film The Ten Commandments would come on Easter Sunday. So as a kid, I thought the Ten Commandments was related to Easter Sunday, and it wasn't. It was actually related to the celebration of Passover, and I didn't get that then as a kid because it's like, oh well, Ten Commandments is on Easter Sunday. It must be part of Easter celebration. Aquarius now says I'm celebrating being alive. Fractured my tailbone yesterday at work, so I'm still good. Wow. I hope you're all right. Getting some uh whatever treatment you needed for that. I couldn't imagine breaking my coccyx. How do you do that at work? Are you are you a are you law enforcement, military, a stuntman, a UFC fighter, or a mailman that got chased by the wrong dog? Like what? How did you break your tailbone at work? Like if you say something about you just sat in the chair wrong, I'm gonna be like, man, come on now. I work construction. I felt. Oh, okay, okay, all right. That is legit. Uh, Aquarius said I work construction. I fell down a flight of steps. Damn. Okay, well, I'm glad you're all right. And I hope the workers comp is gonna light them pockets up. I hope the workers comp is gonna fill those pockets well. Because man, so imagine like you probably were wearing like like a your worker's utility belt as well. So it's good that that's the only thing that you broke actually. So, so at least it was all on my back and I didn't tumble. Yeah, yeah. Like I said, that you it's kind of look at it kind of fortuitous that that was the only thing you broke, tumbling down a flight of steps. Like, and I'm guessing you're probably fit as well because a lesser fit person probably would have broke their hip and their tibia and like all sorts of stuff. You know, appreciate the appreciate the super by the way. Thank you. I own my own business, so that's good. Okay, even better. Well, I guess you can't. Can, I don't know. Can you get workers' comp from your own company? That I don't know how that would work, but either way, yeah, I didn't think so. That would be like a that would be some mafia type stuff, right? Be like, yeah, I own the construction company, but yeah, they owe me workers comp. Like what? You own your own company, but you can buy insurance. Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Like you can't get workers comp, but I was thinking you could buy your own health insurance, which would then actually compensate you. But well, that makes sense. Either way, like I said, that would be some mafia type stuff that you could, if you could get workers comp from your own company, though, that would be crazy, right? I could see that happening too. It's like, well, technically, I don't own the company. I'm just a an investor in the company or something. You know, they say something crazy like that. You know, they say at least it will heal on its own, so no doctor saves money. Yeah. Well, you want it to heal, definitely. People don't realize the coccyx is pretty important. So yeah, and some people break it doing other things as well. Um, I forgot what occupation in which people often break their tailbone. I can't remember if it's being an equestrian or something, but I know there's some occupation where people often are liable to breaking their tailbone. But anyway, so guys, how is people's Easter going? Do you have kids? Um, did you guys throw an Easter egg hunt for the children? Buy them Easter baskets? Um, have special service if you're a church going? Did you take them to church and they had like a special thing for the kids there? Oh, Curtis is now says other than my bottom. He said, "How are you doing? Sorry, I haven't been on lately." Uh, I'm yeah, I'm doing well. I'm usually not on this late. That's probably why you haven't caught me in a while. I've since I get up pretty early. I try to usually be off by 9, and it's 9:04 now. Um, if my time is right, so usually I don't live stream this late anymore because remember I used to live stream around 11, 12, or even 1 a.m. sometimes, and I stopped doing that just because that is a little too late. Uh, what's I'm trying to read what Cast Iron Bell says. Uh, but hello, it said F text FC girlfriend. I don't know. I don't know what that means. Can you rephrase what you were trying to say? I didn't get what you were trying to. I'm guessing it was like a typo. It says F text FC GIF something. I don't know what that was. Crazy now says I love listening to your brain talk, and I'll call you a genius over here in Washington State. I am far from a genius. As much as I would love to call myself a genius, and actually I used to try to call myself a genius in college. I had because I used to work in this uh carpet and tile department at my uh at my university, and so we could, we often made up little signs and stuff for the different offices and um, dormitories and other things on campus. So I used it to make my own little sign that says "Genius at Work," and I put it on my I put it on my door in the house I was renting with my friends, and I called myself a genius because when I would take the online IQ test, I will often score like 130 on those little online IQ tests, but those don't count. My actual IQ is not at the gifted level as much as I wish, um, but it's not bad either. And there's some brilliant people in Washington State, particularly in like I'm guessing like the Seattle area, and then what's the other big city? Because I was almost stationed there. I was going to be stationed at the fort at the joint base Fort Lewis. Um, and then that, but I instead of going to Fort Lewis, I chose Fort Polk in Louisiana instead. I don't know why I did that, because the recruiter was like, "Man, you'll have a good time at Fort Lewis." He said, "But it's more expensive out there." He said Fort Polk is, he said, is a cheaper lifestyle. But I'm glad I, it didn't end up happening, which I'm glad because Fort Polk, I'm pretty sure I wouldn't have had a good time in Fort Polk because it's like right outside of Baton Rouge, Louisiana. I think I would have had a much better time at Fort Lewis. Crazy announcing my kids are 20, 27, 23, no grandkids yet, so no Easter egg hunts today. I raised them myself, but was hoping for a grandbaby soon. Sounds like my mom is probably as well. Well, she does have grandkids through my sister, but none through me yet. Like, well, I was gonna have to wait until, I mean, my wife and I will be working on that because I want I want kids as well. Um, so and especially this Easter Sunday definitely kind of gave me baby fever as well because I saw people playing with their kids and stuff, and it's like I want that. And then my wife and I were sharing, we were sharing like reels to each other on Instagram, and a lot of them dealt with kids. Like I showed these two little Asian kids sitting there having like uh, uh, a little breakdancing square off, and it was funny because it was narrated by this uh, by this New Yorker, and he was like, you could tell like he was like one of those 5 percenters or something. He was like, "Yo, peace, God." He said, "What we got here is a challenge." He said you got my man's over here. He about to hit it with the ping, 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 ping challenge. And my wife was cracking up when I showed her that. She was like, the voiceover is hilarious. I was like, I know, right? So I think we were both like sharing these things. Like we both, are eager to have our kids now. So cast iron belts is your IQ is one to the I don't know. That's about 20 zeros there. Um, I've as flattered as I am, I don't really think I'm that intelligent. I'm just intelligent enough that I can hold a decent conversation. I can remember things and I can learn things. That's about it. I don't consider myself that smart. If anything, you should be skeptical of people who tout themselves as geniuses, unless they actually have the 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 proof to to you know to prove it, like a Sheldon Cooper type person, or someone who's like joined the has a Mensa membership. I haven't even heard of Mensa in so long. I don't even know if they're still active. I guess Mensa is still around, but if you don't know what Mensa is, it's this high IQ society that you join by virtue of showing that you've achieved a gifted level test score on a IQ test, including like they'll also take I think they'll also take an SAT if you score like a 1600 on it, or a GRE. So Mo Halali asks, "Are you gay?" No, I'm not. Make sure this moderation still is on. Okay, the moderation still is on. Okay, just making sure. Uh, but nope, strictly for the ladies. Well, my wife now. Well, Mo Halali, I don't know what to tell you. You're gonna have to find a another consenting adult male that wants to be with you. I don't. e- And I wouldn't take solicitations from men or women on YouTube anyway. That would no, because you don't know to whom you are talking behind the anonymity of a digital screen. It could be a bot or some scammer or whatever, but I am straight. Might want to try the blue oyster. If you guys don't get it, then you know you're not Gen X, but that's a Police Academy joke. Cast Iron Bell says, "What? Okay, yeah, this guy's definitely going. Yeah, I had to put this person in timeout." Uh, Crazy announces my middle child, my son, is my spoiled brat. He lives with mommy again. Well, did you Aquarius? Did you have a different username in the past? I'm wondering because I can't see your avatar from my mobile stream. Even if I put on my glasses, I still wouldn't be able to. Yeah, Mo is definitely violating. This dude says I like to turn straight married men. Here's the I don't understand. So certain all right, let me choose my words carefully. There are some gay men, some, not all. There are some gay men who are delusional who think they can turn straight men. Here's the thing. If you can turn a straight man, he wasn't straight. Male, when it comes to um, men, when it comes to straight men, heterosexual men, straight men, their their sexuality is not that flexible, which is which is what defines a straight man. Women's sexuality is more flexible. This is why often in college they can have their experimentation or curiosity or whatever they want to call it. Men, no, it, for a straight guy, like our sexuality doesn't bend literally. Because if so, then you're not straight. It's sort of like with truth values, right? You have true and you have false, and sometimes you have things that aren't. You have a lot of things that aren't false, but they aren't true, and so people will say, well, then that means that the whole um, tr- bivalence principle in logic doesn't work because some things aren't true or false. And so the way we cleave that is to say, well, no, what we're going to say is, okay, we have here in this category what's true, and then everything else in this other section is everything other than true. So we still can cleave it into two things, the true and things that aren't true, which includes false, sometimes true, quasi true, quasi false, possibly true, necessarily false, um, and all those other things. So same thing when it comes to sexuality. Either you're straight or you're not. so that so for gay men or so-called trans women or queer men who think they can turn straight men, it is delusional because a straight man can't be turned, which is what defines them as being a straight man in the first place. So, herbs and animal are life. I don't understand, bro, why every time you come into the chat, instead of just saying hi, you drop a bunch of terminology without any reference to why you're mentioning those terms. It comes off a little bizarre, and no shade to you, I think you may be neurodivergent because that's a little odd, just a little odd to just be dropping terms or concepts into the live stream with no with no setup to it. I'm just saying because you're saying ethnomycology, ethnozoology, and ethnobotany. It's a little bizarre. Just saying. Cast Iron Bell says, "Do you know Roblox? It's the worst." I think someone asked me that before. I don't play Roblox. To me, that sound like it's just something for kids. Not interested in it. Um, what happened? Someone, wait, what's going on? Um, mess. Why did um I don't know why my Streamlabs moderation deleted this message, but I'll read it. Uh, Aquarius is now says your kids are going to be smart as heck, like you, and beautiful like your wife. I appreciate that. I don't know why Streamlabs deleted that. Again, I don't think I'm that smart, but if people think I'm smart, I take it as a compliment. But I myself, the reason I don't think I'm that smart is because I've been around legitimately brilliant people, professors, um, my TAs when I was like my TAs when I was an undergrad. Some of these folks were genuinely gifted folks. So when I'm around people who are genuinely gifted, those are the people I point to and say, yeah, they're smart. And then even they will probably point to their mentors and say, no, those guys are smart. So, um, but yeah, I don't consider myself that smart, but I do take it as a compliment if someone tells me I am. But I don't really believe that I am. Give me a billion. Let me make $1 billion, then I might, I might consider saying that I am. But until then, well, nah, I don't think so. J Mike dash X3Z. So you guys are literally subscribing just to troll, really? This 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 Dumpski says, bro, I will literally knock you out cold. But just saying it from the anonymity of a screen. If you really want to knock me out cold, you can go you can go to my descriptions of my channel and either email me or DM me on Instagram and set up a time and a place where you can run me this fade. And the thing is, I will take a challenge if someone wants to fight me, but just realize that I will be video recording this so that I can air it here on my channel, and people will be able to determine if you ran me that fade or not, because I guarantee it's not going to work out for you. You might want to sit down, shut the fuck up. Cast Down Bell says, how to to you. I don't know if you're referring to the guy J. Mike, who's probably some little retarded teenager. Um, but I'm 48, so I don't know what this guy is thinking, but it won't go his way. I'm literally at a stage where I might be re-enlisting in the military. Since they upped the age to 42, and some people that's given age waivers if they're in incredible shape, like David Goggins, a former Navy SEAL and ultra marathon runner, has reenlisted in the Air Force Special Warfare Training Center and is in the pipeline to become an Air Force PJ. If you don't know what Air Force PJ is, that is Air Force Special Operations. PJ stands for Pararescuer Jumpers. These people, the training to become a PJ is harder than a Navy SEAL. And he's doing it at the age of 51. So, and like I said, I am seriously considering reenlisting. Maybe not something like what he's doing, but I know the DC National Guard is looking for prior service members. Although I would be more interested in doing active duty full time, not just National Guard. Although I wouldn't mind DC National Guard. Aquarius is now. I don't know why they deleted your stuff. Aquarius now, but it says Police Academy. Love that movie. Police Academy is a cult classic, guys. If you haven't seen it, treat yourself to that movie. Check you out some Steve Gutenberg. Um, it's such a good movie, and it's funny. And it's funny. I had no business watching it as a kid because when I saw it as a teenager, I realized that a lot of those jokes were sexual, and I didn't get like I I didn't get the whole joke about why the prostitute was in the speech podium, and I would hear the police officer's zipper go down and his eyes go up. I didn't know he was receiving a blowjob. Like I didn't get the jokes as a little kid, but it's hilarious now. Or I didn't get the Blue Oyster thing was a gay bar. That's why they kept sending the cops that they didn't like to the to the gay bar to get rid of them, which was hilarious. Florida is life says Happy Easter. If you won the next Powerball jackpot, $250 million after taxes, what would you do from the start? So I'm not gonna tell you all my moves that I would make, but I'll give you the gist of it. Okay. So the first thing I would do is I would set up an appointment with a lottery lawyer. These are Lottery lawyers are estate lawyers who specialize in helping lottery winners set up, you know, set themselves up so they can collect their winnings and not bungle it up because a lot of people A lot of people bungle up their lottery winnings and go broke a few years later because they mismanaged their money. So the very first thing I would do is spend money. Well, I would set up an appointment with a lottery lawyers prior to collecting my check. So we have to set up something like a private trust or LLC. Although I do already have an LLC, but I don't know. So, but I would contact that person before I collect my winnings, and then after that, probably we would, hire like a a an accountant and a financial manager, so that I would make the right moves with that money. Um, then after all of that is squared away, then I would get a secondary. I would buy a citizenship in another country so I can get a secondary passport. I might buy more than one. I'm not gonna say exactly what countries, but there are some countries in the uh, Caribbean, Africa, and Europe that I would consider buying their citizenship through investment. Then I would buy a special investors visa in the Philippines because it's very hard to get citizenship there, but you can you can get permanent residence status there, and I would set that up. Um, what else? If you think I was going to make some sort of extravagant things, no. The most extravagant things I'll be doing is buying citizenship through investment. I would be doing the citizenship through investment programs, um, so I can get a secondary or even tertiary passport. That to me, that's baller when you got multiple passports. That means you know you are always that makes you a global citizen of the world because you never have to be tethered to one place. So I'll get my multiple passports through citizenship through investment programs. Move overseas immediately with my wife, uh, and I will make some smart investments, whether that's like stock, um, real estate, and precious metals. One thing I can mention I would buy a farm. There's something appealing to me about having a farm, so I would buy a farm. Um, and I mean, that's pretty much it. I wouldn't like, I would set it up that I would make money off of my money with a few smart investments. So yeah. Cassandra Bell says play Poppy playtime. I don't know what that is. Oh, it was the emojis. Okay, that's what happened. Corey says sorry for the emojis. Yeah, I set that up with Streamlabs because sometimes people will like spam I know you weren't doing that intentionally, but sometimes people will spam emojis in the chat room just to try to troll. So that's why I put that rule in. Spokane, Washington allows duels. Oh, really? So I'm not trying to duel with sabers or swords. But if the guy wants to, but if a troll wants to run me to fade, yeah, we can duke it out. But like I said, the requirement is that they're gonna have to allow me to video record it, and that's when they all back down because when they realize that I'm confident enough to video it, they realize like most of them are just talking trash anyway. But even the ones who think they actually could knock me out, which they cannot, um, they realize, oh, he's confident enough to video record, and then they back down because they realize they don't want me to put on camera them getting knocked the fuck out. Crisis, I'm 46. I'm a February baby. I'm September. Leon Stroker 4026 says run the fade on the MMA rules on live. Dude, I would. Like I said, I don't know if it would be live. It might be pre-recorded. Um, it could be live though. It depends on if I have a good camera setup or whatever. I will. I could possibly do it live, or but it most likely would be pre-recorded just so I can edit whatever's going on, right? Um, but either way, I would record the footage and load it here for you guys to watch, and you could tell me, oh, you'll be able to judge for yourself whether Contrarian can actually fight or not. But a lot of these people who say that don't realize I have videos here on my channel of me training in other countries doing martial arts. Like I have a video of me training pencak silat in Indonesia. I have another video of me training Muay Thai in Pattaya, Thailand. Um, I have one. I don't have video of me doing our niece in the Philippines, but I have some pictures up on my on my on my YouTube news feed. Um, if you scroll way down, of me training our niece in Manila. Uh, where else? Then I have some stuff here in the U.S. With me doing a Jeet Kune Do drill, with me hitting a speed bag. Um, I have one of me participating in a kung fu demonstration. So, but some people just, you know, that's just trolls. It's just funny that someone would subscribe just to troll. Like, really? But that's all right because, like I said, I like keeping this on subscriber only comments because that limits the amount of clowns to deal with. And like I said, if someone wants to go so far as to subscribe just to troll, then they're helping me out. Guys, I don't know. Can you guys hear the music still in the background? I turned it down a lot so I wouldn't get copyrighted for it. But I just want to let you see that the DJ is fine as hell. Like I'm gonna let you guys see this. Okay, give me a sec. Let me reverse the camera. All right, enough of that. But yeah, I guarantee this person is not going to email me or DM me on Instagram. Like every time I had a troll claim they were going to step up and actually contact me, they never do. They're not about their life. Especially, I think what brings the bitch out in them is when I say I'm gonna like video this right and air the footage on my live stream. I mean on my channel, right? Then they suddenly turn ghost. So yeah. I was gonna eat some more Easter candy, but I don't want to because it's gonna keep me up. Like I already had coffee too late, and that's why I'm up this late. Because normally I wouldn't be anymore. It's 9:34. Yeah, so uh I'm gonna Go soon. So another troll says Kanye West for you says you're he can't, his grammar's horrible. So your older man, this is his incorrect grammar by the way. You may know how to fight, but I'ma be honest, I think I dog walk you, no offense. Yeah, okay. Do you get up 4 o'clock in the morning and run 7 miles, then shadow box for half an hour and stretch before most people even wake up every day? And then later on after work go to the gym. Did you serve in the armed forces? Did you ever practice MMA? Didn't think so, bro. You're just a troll who's fucking retarded. And you probably got some little faggot fetish as well, like that last guy. So, night night for you, Kanye West for you. He said, nah, you're slower though. That's the problem. I would not want to hurt you. It feel bad. Yeah, okay. If you really think you could dog walk me, then again, my email and my Instagram is in my description. We'll set up something and I will video it of us fighting and people will be able to judge for themselves if you ran me that fade or not. Cause yeah, because I can't fight, but you can. What weight do you fight at? It doesn't matter what weight I fight at. You're so confident that you can dog walk me. It shouldn't matter what weight I am. Shouldn't matter. You've already made the claim. Extraordinary claims require extraordinary evidence. So until your faggot ass actually emails me or DMs me so we can actually set up a fight, you're full of shit. Hey, I'm trying to give you the vanishment. You're full of shit, you faggot. It's time for you to go. If he's really, guys, if he's really legit, he'll email me or he'll DM me on Instagram. I guarantee you that he won't. Guarantee you that he won't. He's probably some little 15-year-old little faggot with a broccoli haircut talking trash because these retarded kids do stuff like that. Or he it's even worse if he's a grown adult man who thinks what he said is remotely appropriate. Not that I give more grace to a young person, but an adult male just shows he's fucking retarded. I didn't realize I had so many subscribers that were trolls. I can always up the participation mode. So I have it. I went from anyone to subscribers. I can always limit to live commentary where I just limit the participants to a specific people that I approve. So I can up the community moderation to where you know only people I want to talk with me will talk. Yeah, let me give a shout out to this DJ that you may or may not hear in the background. Oh, thank you. This is my bug out bag. Right here. Um, I've actually done the whole video showing all the contents of my bug out bag. Um, Next to it is a old. It's like it's like a vintage school backpack with like a bunch of old school stuff in it, and then this has like some uh, collectibles in it, comic book collectibles. But yeah, this is my bug out bag. It's deceptive because it doesn't look like a bug out bag. It just looks like a regular sports backpack, which is the whole point. I don't want a bug out bag that screams tactical or screams military. I want something that looks pretty discreet. Um, and like people, even with the stuff that hangs out of it, people would just think, oh, he's probably just a hike, like a backpacker, or something like that, like a backpacker or a hiker. They won't think, oh, this is a bug out bag, because in a bug out scenario, depending on the bug out scenario, um, you may not want people to know that you are actually equipped for that SHTF scenario, because then they might want to look at what supplies they can get from you or look to you for help. And in the SHTF scenario, is every man for themselves. So for themselves, selves, yeah, for themselves, and you wouldn't want people burdening you. Boys in the hood for good says, "Man, you sound like a geek." Thank you. I am a geek, proud geek. Better than being a little hood booger like you low IQ bitch. Your DNA, your DNA screams abort, abort, abort. Like your whole genetic line should probably end with you, because we don't need more niggers like you. And yeah, I said it with the hard R as well. It's funny, people actually subscribe just to troll. Like, why? That shows you're the loser in life. Why would someone subscribe to someone just to troll? A lot of you have serious, a lot of you have really need to see psychological treatment. No, scratch that. Psychiatric treatment. Many of you need to seek psychiatric treatment. Online trolling shows that you have underlying issues. I don't think I'm tough. I am tough, bitch. Are you a combat veteran? No, I didn't think so. Suck a dick. So yeah, I don't understand trolls, man. I mean, I understand trolls. I just think they're, I think they're a waste of. I think they're literally a waste of DNA. Like online trolls need to need to take the Darwinian option to improve to improve to improve the human race. They should choose the Darwinian option. You know what I mean by that. I'm not going to. I'm not. I'm not going to say it more specifically and get demonetized. 'Cause my last live stream was demonetized because I went a little too hard at the trolls. So that's why I'm doing subscribers only. But there's still a lot of trolls within the subscriber base, which is interesting. Charlie Kirk had it coming. Yeah, interesting name, username. I'm not going to even dignify answering your question because you can literally look at the name of the stream, and that's just a wild that's a wild username for real. You're scrolling, so you did not see the name. How are you scrolling when I made a subscriber only? Hmm. Curious if the subscriber. I'm curious if this subscriber mode is even working. Yeah. So again, you subscribe literally just so you control, right? But I'll give you the benefit of the doubt. It's just my happy Easter chat. That is it. There's no specific topic. Scratch that. Whatever. Like again, it's a happy Easter chat. So I'm trying to be in chill mode, but I'm getting a bunch of trolls who are literally subscribing just so they control. And I'm like, what sort of loser subscribes to someone just so they control them? Like it's I don't know. I have better things to do in my life than to just randomly troll people that I find on a live stream. That is just very strange behavior. So I'll give you benefit of the doubt that you're not a troll, but the last few people have been. And I thought just by and yeah, I'll be honest, just by virtue of your username, I thought you were coming here to troll. So, but in any case, yeah, this is my happy Easter chat. I've been trying to be in chill mode, and trolls come in, and make me get back into my Gen X, make me jump back into my Generation X mode. And I'm trying not to be on Generation X time right now. I'm trying to be in chill mode. I had one guy who subscribed who was literally challenging me to a fight for no reason, and I'm like, cool, we can fight. Just know that when we act, if and when we do actually fight, I will video record it so I can upload it to my channel so I can monetize it. I don't like, if I'm, like the Joker said in the Dark Knight, if you're good at something, never do it for free. So no, you're good. He said I got you. My bad if it came off wrong. So yeah. Um, Yeah, so it's all good. I'm going to shut this down soon. I just wanted to finish hearing this music. I don't know if you guys can hear it in the background though. Hopefully, not really, because if you do, that means I'll have to go back and edit this for replay so that I can have it monetized. So, and I'm pretty sure. Well, pretty sure people watching her video were just watching to look at her for a whole hour, like just what they call it, uh, gooning or whatever. So, but yeah, she, you know, she's an attractive woman. Not my type, but I'm sure a lot of guys think she can get it. Oh, so yeah, and you can see the place is a mess. I'm not fixing it up right now. That will have to wait till maybe tomorrow. But yeah, I just started off this chat asking people, are they celebrating Easter? Are they celebrating Passover? if they're Muslim, did they just come off of Ramadan? If they're Hindu, maybe they just came off of Holi. I don't understand how Holi is celebrated. I assume that's a good holiday, so I don't really know. Um, yeah. So in any case, that's all. Then I was talking about you know that Easter has made me want to be in a mode where I have uh, has put me in the feels for having a kid myself with the wifey. I'm sure she feels the same way. At this point, I might try to use a fertility drug and have multiples at once, so we just knock it all out at one point at one time. Of course, when you do that, you mess around and have triplets or quadruplets. That is not cool. Having anything above triplets is too much. Like my friend, he uh well, he and his brother were triplets. Their third brother, he didn't go to our school, but the two of them did. So I met the two of them. Then when we finally met the third brother, he acted just like them, which was funny. He's like, yeah, I knew he was just like them because as soon as we met him, he was like, yeah, I heard my brothers keeping Kurt of running this. You know what I'm saying? I was like, oh my god, he's just like them. So it's funny, but yeah, I wouldn't mind triplets. That'd be awesome. But quintuplets or quadruplets or quintuplets, even worse, sextuplets. That is way too many kids. Way too many. And I don't even know how women. How do you even hold that many kids in your belly? That's crazy. But anyway, um, yeah, but yeah, that's crazy. Subscribing to someone to troll them, not the Charlie Kirk guy, but some of these other folks. Because I thought maybe the filter wasn't wasn't being applied faithfully, but it is. Just that some people are actually subscribed, but they're still here when they're shits and giggles. So I'm like, oh, okay. But again, shout out to Aquarius is down for the super. If you guys also want to help me with supers, please do so. I do accept super chats and super thanks. The super thanks is if you're watching this on replay, you can send a super thanks. But when I am streaming live, you can send me a super chat or 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 a gem. Like Aquarius has now sent me a gem. I guess the gems was an idea that YouTube borrowed from TikTok. um, at least that's what I heard. I don't know. I don't use TikTok, but I think from what other people said, the whole gem idea came from TikTok, then came over to YouTube. I don't know if that's true. Is that true? I don't know. But what time we got? Yeah, it's almost 10. So as soon as this lady stops spinning her music, I'm out too. And her name is DJ 7 Toria or VII Toria. I don't know if she goes by 7 Toria or VII Toria. It might be VII Toria, like Victoria. I don't know. And the music. Uh, so this the name of her channel is DJ VII Toria. This particular one I'm watching already has 1 million views. I can see why, because people are watching it for both the music and the eye candy. And the name of this one is R&B Slow Jams 90s 2000s Hit List DJ VII or DJ 7 Usher, Trey Songz, Mariah Carey, Mario, Alicia Keys. This is actually from a year ago, but it's like it's old school jam. So even if it's a year ago, it's old school jam. So it's not gonna be now not new or something. So, but anywho, since there's no one here, it'll be time to conclude. Again, I do appreciate super thanks. Also, I am helping some people who are suffering in the Philippines because of prior tropical storms. Also, they are in a state of emergency because they have ran very low on oil because of the situation with the Iran, uh, with the conflict in Iran, and with them basically holding the Strait of Hormuz blockaded so that people aren't able to get their oil. So, our president might be sending in ground troops. I hope not. I don't want to see U.S. service members getting hurt, but we are the best at what we do. So, something needs to happen because there's people suffering in many countries because of the energy crisis, like in the Philippines. And so, like I said, if you want to, instead of a super thanks to me, you want to send it either a super thanks or you want to send a cash app. You can send a cash app here. You can see you can see it in the live stream, but it's $, just a contrarian, all one word, $, just a contrarian. If you want to cash at me, or you can send me a super thanks. And if if you're sending it just to help me out, to help me grow my channel, I appreciate it. Or if you're sending it because um, say you want to tell me, hey, if you want to use this to help out those indigent people that you know in the Philippines, here's to help in that endeavor. And I am serious. Like, I've actually had a few of those people on my live stream, talking about their struggles. One was named Micah, for instance. I had her on a few times. Had another person on, but she had bad. She was she she was always busy. So, oh well. But she was on for like 5 minutes twice. Micah's been on several times, but eh. And then my wife, she's been on multiple times, and she actually is part of a hiking group, uh, ATAT, um, that actually is sponsored to go on these little hiking trips where they actually do philanthropy in some of these rural provinces of the Philippines. So again, if you want to contribute to that, just go ahead and you can send a cash app or you can send me a super thanks and then put a note letting me know that this is for, you know, me helping those folks. Or if you just want to again send it to me to help me grow my channel and let me eat fruit snacks, I would appreciate that too. But that's it, guys. Thank you. Have a great rest of your Easter weekend. Some of you, if you Eastern Orthodox, you might be celebrating tomorrow. But that's it. I'm out.